Greetings, comic book fans. I'm Jason. It is the 30th of January 2017, and you are watching Comical Weekly, my weekly video where I share with you the brand new comics I picked up. A bit later than usual, which I apologize for. This is the first chance I've had in what's been a busy week to be able to do this video. Um, but as they say, better late than never. I would have ordinarily, I would have left this till this because like now everybody be concentrating on the new books that are coming out in a couple of days. But I was just determined I wasn't going to miss another week. So here I am with another haul video. So we're going to make this as quick and painless as possible. First up, as always, it's pull list update, and there were a couple of changes I made this week. I went through and I dropped the Punisher, so that's gone. That's gone off my pull list now, and I've added Man Thing, which is I think it's a 5-issue miniseries coming out I think next month in March. I think it starts, and also I've added Curse Words because I read the first issue of that, really enjoyed it, so I've added that. That's from Image. It's all about a wizard from another dimension called Wizard, and he comes to Earth to destroy it. But while he's getting his spell ready, he kind of explores the Earth, and it kind of opens his eyes because like his world's got like slavery, and there's like a real definitive class system, and with the part of the world he's in, they don't have that. So he's like, I don't want to destroy this world, and then so the big bad that sent him kind of wants to um, make him pay for not following through on what he was sent to do. While he, like Wizard as well, he sets himself up as this wizard for hire. So yeah, it was a really fun first issue. So yeah, Curse Words from Image Comics has been added to my pull list. So now, as always, I've divided my books into 3 piles. The books that I've way behind and I won't be reading just yet. The books that I've got to read and the books that I've read. Um, so I think it was 21 books I picked up last week. So that was a big week for me. So let's get into these without further ado. So first up, we have Superman Action Comics issue 972. Really want to catch up with that because I'm enjoying the other Superman book a lot. So I really want to catch up with that one as well. Because Dan Jurgens does a good job with Superman. So I really want to catch up with that. We have The Flash issue number 15, another book I really want to get up to date with, and Wonder Woman number 15. 2 books there I want to catch up on. Steve Rogers, Captain America, issue number 10, another book I really want to get up on. I think I've read up to issue 4, so I'm quite behind on that. Daredevil issue 16, which I've heard a lot of good things about. I'm going to make a big effort this week to catch up on this, and so that I can get reading that. We have Deadpool issue 25, which again, they do this a lot with Deadpool. It's a thick issue. You can see the size of it there. It is a thicker than normal issue. It was $5.99, and they do this a lot with Deadpool. And kind of, when there's a reason for it, I can kind of live with it. But with Deadpool, like, there's so many Deadpool books already, and then they're kind of hiking it up. It kind of, But if I cared enough, I'd stop buying it. You know, that's the thing. If you're gonna, you can't expect change if you're gonna keep buying it, whatever they do. So I tend these days, I try and shut up and stop complaining because, like I say, if I'm gonna be part of the problem, what can you do? We then have Doctor Strange, issue number 16, another book that I really want to get caught up on. And Bloodshot USA issue number 4, which is the last issue of this series. And in the next month kind of thing, there's no Bloodshot book in the back from Valiant. There's no Bloodshot book, so I'm thinking that this is the end of the story. So sad to see that, but I'm sure some point in the future with the movie coming out, Bloodshot will be back. So now we've got the books that I'm gonna read a bit later. First up, we have Savage, issue number 3, also from Valiant Comics. It's got that cardboardy cover that I love, and that always makes it feel special. This is a 4-part series, and it follows this football player that's like soccer football, not like gridiron football. He, his wife, and their little child crash on this island that's basically like the Savage Land. There's like dinosaurs and stuff there, and like really savage people. And so the story is kind of set up in it's following the kid now, and like the kids I'd imagine he's like early teens, maybe 10 to early teens, and he's like wild because he's grown up on this island and he learned how to survive. But then we're also following the story of when they first arrived and what happened to his parents as they first arrived on the island. So it's interesting the way that they lay it out. I'm very intrigued into what this is going to lead into. If it's going to be a separate thing, or at the end it's going to somehow link up with the Valiant universe. It's going to be interesting what happens there. But so far, I've enjoyed this. It's been fun. And then we have Star Wars issue 27. I'm a bit behind with Star Wars, but I think I'm led to believe this is one of those stories that they do every so often. That kind of they've done them with Obi-Wan Kenobi, where you don't need to be reading the current story. You can just jump in and read this. So I jumped forwards in this because I really want to catch up with my Star Wars books. But a Yoda story, I couldn't resist not jumping forward. We then have Batman Detective Comics issue number 949. I've got 2 more issues to read and I'm up to date with this. So this one I will be reading later when I've read those 2 issues. I'm just really loving this book. I love the team and I just love how it's written. And James Tynion has done a really great job. And he's just been one of the most consistent writers from this whole DC Universe rebirth. So yeah, I'm enjoying this book. Really good. Look forward to catch up on that. Now we've got the books that I've read. First up, we have Inhumans versus X-Men number 3. Was a good issue. I think my problem with this is while I'm enjoying the story, and I like how the writers are trying to portray both sides as like they have their reasons why they're fighting. So like neither side's kind of been cast as the villain because they both have their reasons that you can understand. But I feel I'm so entrenched on the X Men side. I just find it really difficult to kind of really empathize with the Inhumans because like I look at the X Men, they've got the Terrigen Cloud, this cloud that's alien and is affecting our atmosphere by killing mutants. And so what have the Inhumans done for a year? They've tried to find a cure, but they never once looked at, well, what if we can somehow capture all the gas that the cloud is and find a way to trap it and capture it so that, we can store it and use it, but it ain't going to be harmful to the atmosphere no more and mutants will be able to live on the earth as normal. No, they've not even considered that kind of scenario that wow, the Terrigen Cloud's got to stay in the atmosphere, and we've got to find a way to save the mutants. So, yeah, you know. And I'm just, and then you've got teams like the Ultimates, whose whole gimmick is that they're there to solve problems. Have they tried to solve this problem? No. All the great minds in the Marvel Universe have done nothing. There's been Beast working by himself, and it's like, I'm just feel really bad for the X Men and how they've been treated. And so like I'm totally behind the X Men and going to destroy this cloud because if the cloud stays there, it's going to kill them. So they're going to destroy it. And I've got no sympathy with the Inhumans acting outraged that the cloud's going to be destroyed, because it's killing people. People are dying, and and you have had a year to come up with a solution, and you've not done jack. You've tried to find a cure, but you've not tried to deal with the cloud and that surely there had to be at least a consideration, even if it was a last resort. It had to be a consideration. So yes, so that's kind of rant over. That's kind of how I feel about the book. So while I'm enjoying it, and it's a good event because you've got 2 really good writers on it in Jeff Lemire and Charles Soule. So while I'm like that, I am, I am having problems because I'm so partisan on the one side. We then have Saga issue 42. Oh my god. You'd think after 42 issues I would be so used to the writing now that they would not be able to get me, but they still get me. This issue, when I got to the end of this issue, it was like somebody had ripped my heart out and trampled on it. Oh my god, what a heartbreaking shock at the end of this issue. It was really, really sad. But again, Staples and Vaughn are on top form, and this just remains 42 issues in. It's just an awesome, awesome book. Really enjoyed that. We then have Extraordinary X-Men issue number 18, Inhumans vs. the X-Men. Continues the really good tie-ins that we've been getting for the Inhumans vs. X-Men event. It's not an essential read. You don't need to read this to understand the main story, But if you like the characters, these are really good because they flesh out the characters and their motivations for what's going on in the main story. And this issue kind of deals with Reed Forge, and it's a really nice, uplifting story. We have two artists on the book, and it's nice when because Logan tells Forge this story from the future, so we get Sorrentino on art for the bits from the future. Sorrentino does, and then we get the other artists on the rest of the book. Ibanez, and I'm getting used to Ibanez's art. I'm still not 100% into like how he draws. Like you look at that Storm, and he does do kind of like a really thick nose on all of his characters. Um, but this is from Sorrentino. Just beautiful Sorrentino's art is. But yeah, I like the usage of the two artists, and I really enjoyed the story. Getting used to even as his art, and all in all, this was really good. This was a really good read. And we then have Hellboy Winter Special. This is 3 stories in this. First is a Witchfinder story, and then the next two are 2 Hellboy stories, all set around winter, and I enjoyed them. It was a nice read. It doesn't blow you away. It isn't gonna, but it's a nice book if you've never read Hellboy to kind of jump in and give it a try and to see if this is kind of your thing. As they're 3 nice short stories. We then have Divinity 3, issue number 2. Again, as always, Valiant do such a great job. You have the cardboardy cover, and then in the back you have, if I can get it, in the back you have this kind of commentary, kind of showing how they put the book together. So I like that. And all of it for the usual price. It's the same price as always. It's $3.99, but they put those extra bits on, and it just makes the book feel so special. The story as well, I'm really enjoying. History has been changed. The Soviet Union now rule the world. There's this alternate history, which inside page we get this like alternate history of the way the world's gone now that the Soviet Union control the world, and the only one who remembers how the world should be is Ninjak. Last issue, he went around trying to find help, but there's nobody who kind of remembers who can help him. So this issue is where, yeah, and things look pretty grim at the end of last issue, but this issue is where things start to kind of come back, and Ninjak finds some allies, and we get a bit of a resistance going. So this was really good. We get a nice reveal at the end, and again, I love alternate history stories, and as all the Divinity stories have been really good. And yet, this was once again brilliant. Then we have from Boom Studios, we have Skyborn, written and drawn by Frank Chow. This is just awesome. I absolutely love this. There's this one scene where we got all these dragons show up, which is just I loved that. I love that whole dragon scene. This has just remained fantastic. We get a lot of answers to like Merlin and what he's up to and why he's back. So that's really cool. Skyborn's training continues, and it isn't going very well. This book just continues to be a real joy. I really enjoyed it. It was great fun. We then have Teen Titans number 4. This book was a mixed bag for me. I'm liking the Demon's Fist and how they're this rival group for the Titans, so they make nice adversaries. I like the whole thing with the group coming together to decide they're going to go and rescue Damien. That was really good, and I like the makeup of the group and the characters. My only thing I was disappointed is the fight between Damien and Maya. I don't know. I was expecting more, and it felt a bit anticlimactic. Um, I like the way that Damien gets beaten. That is his own arrogance. That is his downfall, which is totally in character for Damien. But I was a bit disappointed with the whole battle. It didn't seem as epic as I was expecting. But continues to be a fun book, and yeah, I enjoy Teen Titans. We have Doom Patrol issue number 4. This book is totally insane. I enjoyed it. I read it. I enjoy it. I followed the gist of it. But in no way do I think I can put into words what is happening. It's that kind of complicated, and you would think that it's been written by Grant Morrison, but it's not. It is Gerard Way, but It continues to be a really good book, and I'm enjoying it. You get a lot more answers this issue, which is cool, but it still remains a puzzle to kind of explain. But yeah, definitely, if you want a book that's going to keep you alert, because you've got to be alert when you read the book, this is definitely one to try. It is weird, it is kooky, but it is fun. So yeah, and we all need a bit of kooky and fun on our pull list. We then have Hulk issue number 2, which I'm becoming a bigger fan on. I wasn't 100% sure the first issue. I did like that we didn't get to see a Hulk out straight away, but I wasn't entirely sure. The basic gist of this is that Jennifer Walters, who has been the She-Hulk, since been beaten up by Thanos and put into a coma, and then coming out of that coma to find out that her cousin, Bruce Banner, has been murdered by Hawkeye, and having to deal with that, from the whole thing of that it's Hawkeye who done it, to the fact that her cousin is dead, to the fact that the beating she suffered at the hands of Thanos. She's really feeling it, and the way she hulks up has changed now. That she kind of becomes the Hulk when she's angry, where before she was always in control, and so she's dealing with that by trying to get back to normal. And what I really liked about this issue is I'm somebody who's kind of struggled a bit with anxiety, and I kind of totally empathized with her character in this, the way that she's trying to control that rage and that it just comes up at unexpected times. And it's the same thing with my anxiety. Sometimes the silliest things will trigger it, and it's just so hard to control. And it's a constant battle trying to control that. And I just really empathize with the way Jennifer is in this issue and what she's dealing with. I totally empathized and could totally put myself in those shoes. So I really enjoyed this issue, and I think a lot of that was, like I say, because of how much I empathized with her character. Again, we don't get to see a Hulk up, but I'm liking that they're building till we see that we haven't seen that yet. I'm liking that. We've basically got 2 stories we're following here. The main story with Jen and how she's coping, or not coping, trying to control the rage. But then we also follow um, this this client that she's helping, that she's going to stop her from being kicked out of her home. This Inhuman, and there's something with this Inhuman, and so I think that's going to end up badly as well. But yeah, I'm enjoying this. This issue put me on board a lot more than the first issue did, and I'm going to stick with this because I think this could be very interesting. And finally, the final book for this week, it is Reborn issue number 4. This was just brilliant. We've got this main character, Bonnie, and we follow her life, and her husband gets horribly killed. And then years later, she passes away. Happy in the knowledge that she'll be with her husband again. She wakes up, and when you die, you go to this other plane of existence. And she was prophesied to be this chosen one who's going to save people from this rising evil. But before she takes up her position as this savior, she wants to find her husband. So she's going with her dad, and they're going to look for a husband. And it's a journey through some very dangerous waters. This was a fast read, but thoroughly enjoyable, and I'm just really enjoying this. I don't know how many issues it's going to go, because usually you find with Mark Miller, sorry, he does like to keep his books don't usually go for like long runs. So it's going to be interesting with this, because I think like this is issue 4. If this was going to say wrap up, for example, in issue 6, we've got a lot to get to in 2 issues. So we will see what happens. But all in all, I'm enjoying this. Definitely one to check out. So that is me done for another week. I'm sorry. I said I was going to make this quick and painless, and in fact I went long and painfully long. So apologies for that. I just can't help myself when it comes to talking about comics. I just go waffling on. Anywho, thank you very much for watching. I will be back in not that long, about a week, a few days. I'll be picking my books up on Wednesday, but probably won't get a chance to do a video until the weekend. So look for the new Comical Weekly video up about Saturday, Sunday. Thank you very much for watching. All that leaves me to say is that I've been Jason. It has been the 30th of January 2017. Keep reading, and bye for now.